Hi everyone, I'm Xinyan from Design Lab, University of Sydney. Today I'm excited to share with you our work, from agent autonomy to casual collaboration, a design investigation on help-seeking urban robots. This work is a collaborative effort with my supervisors, Marius Hoggenmüller and Martin Tomitsch. Robots are transcending initial static and semi-controlled configurations, such as laboratories and domestic environments, expanding their presence into public urban spaces, providing a variety of services such as transportation, infrastructure maintenance, surveillance, etc. However, due to the unpredictability of urban settings, these agents inevitably encounter situations beyond their programmed capability. A number of recent field observation studies have documented instances where urban robots experience operational challenges. These include being obstructed by obstacles on sidewalks, becoming immobilized due to uneven road surfaces, and struggling in heavy snow conditions. At the same time, these studies have also observed instances of spontaneously assistance from bystanders to help them resuming their movement. These observations motivated us to further investigate interaction strategies for agents to elicit help from bystanders when they encounter operational challenges in urban spaces. In human-robot collaboration settings, various strategies for robots to request help from human collaborators have been explored, including verbal cues and non-verbal cues like movement, light, and sound. However, bystanders, unlike human collaborators, don't have a common task goal with the robot or any previous connections. This shift in context challenges the applicability of existing help-seeking strategies among bystanders. Commercially deployed robots typically lean on verbal speech to ask bystanders for help. However, the effectiveness may be compromised by factors like cultural and linguistic differences, cognitive overload, and ambient noises in urban spaces. To investigate how agents can elicit help from bystanders, we conducted 4 focus groups with 17 participants that involved the bodystorming method. During these sessions, participants assumed the role of robots and bystanders in a role-play activity. Together, they enacted the scenarios where robots encounter difficulties in urban spaces and need bystander help. The robot players were given a robot costume. The robot costume is made from a big cardboard box. We cut out the button and mounted it on the dolly, so participants could sit inside and scoot around easily. We also cut out the walls and top of the box, covering them with a one-way see-through reflective film. This allows participants inside to see outside without letting anyone from outside to look in. Avoid any eye contact between robot player and other participants. We used simple markers and prompts to set the scenario. For example, masking tape marked out driveways, sidewalks, and zebra crossings. The roleplay follows a mystery-solving style. All participants were unaware of the study objectives before the activity. The robot and pedestrian players were given a printed storyboard to introduce the scenario, plus written instructions detailing their tasks. For robot players, they were given a hidden task outlining the difficulties they encountered and the task to ask a pedestrian player for help. For those participants playing the pedestrian role, the instructions would simply offer some background information and ask them to act naturally. The bodystorming is grounded in real-world scenarios derived from an online ethnography study we previously conducted. We included 3 typical scenarios. First, the robot is unable to cross the road because it can't press the traffic light button. Second, the robot cannot cross at an unsignalized intersection as no vehicle giving way for it. And third, a robot is blocked by obstacles on sidewalk. The focus group began with warm-up activities, where participants simply put on costumes and get familiarized with the roleplay, followed by bodystorming sessions. After each round of roleplay, participants reflected on the activity. The robot players shared how they sought help and explained their actions, while pedestrian players discussed their interpretations and reactions to the robot players' behaviors. To determine the desired characteristic of a robot when it seeks help, we conducted a word sorting exercise after the roleplay debriefs, drawing inspiration from the Kansai design method. We selected Kansai words that capture human impressions and feelings of robots in 3 different aspects: physical, social, and psychological. The word sorting activity was facilitated on A2 size printed boards, with participants indicating their chosen words using stickers of various colors. Robot players used blue stickers to mark words that capture how they felt playing robots during bodystorming. Other participants used yellow stickers to note their impressions of the robot. After this, all participants were prompted to set aside their assigned roles, drawing on from their own areas of expertise to select the desired attributes of a robot help-seeking interactions using orange notes. Afterwards, all participants joined a group discussion. From the bodystorming sessions, we observed several nonverbal communication strategies employed by robot players to seek assistance. Before asking for help, the robot player first needs to address people's attention. When not receiving further assistance, some robot players directly address the nearby pedestrian by orienting themselves towards the pedestrian player to face them directly or slightly move towards them. After some pedestrian players remain indifferent to those requests, a few robot players took their action a step further. They proactively chased departing pedestrians, obstructed their paths, or even engaged in physical contact with them. For example, one robot player tilted his box costume towards the pedestrian player and rubbed against him. For pedestrian players, the robot movement, either facing them or walking towards them, served as an indication that they were being called out for assistance. However, pursuing behavior generally elicited a sense of discomfort, causing people to maintain a distance from the robot or even escape from the situation. Some participants even indicate that the robot to be creepy or needy if their behavior was too pursuing. After getting the attention from pedestrian players, the robot players oriented themselves accordingly or used a pointer to indicate their intended directions or objects they need assistance with. We observed conversations happened between pedestrian and robot in a blend form of speech and movement. When pedestrian player verbally asked for confirmation for robot's intention, the robot player responded by adding motions in the desired direction or repeating the same pointing gesture. Some participants attempted to convey emotions. One common emotion exhibited by robot players was anxiety when no one offered help. This anxiety was communicated through frequent and intense shaking of the pole or the twisting of the robot body. Some robot players try to express gratitude after receiving help by expressing joyful emotions through their movements, such as hopping up and down or spinning around. The displayed anxious emotion raised empathy among participants. Display the joyful emotions prompt responses such as nodding or waving by pedestrian players. Some participants indicate a sense of satisfaction when seeing robots displaying happy emotion. After being helped, we noticed cases where the robot player attempted to convey social signals through simple movements. For instance, one robot player tilted their box-shaped costume in a bowing motion to thank the pedestrian. The pedestrian player recognized this social gesture and responded by bowing back to the robot player. Apart from these 4 components of communication that the robot player used to ask for help, we also found that robot players often assembled these components into repetitive patterns, resembling the predictable and programmed behavior generally associated with robots. Participants suggested that the recognition of programmed machine-like behavior augmented their understanding of the robot's intent to communicate. At the same time, it might also improve people's confidence in robots' ability. As one participant indicated, "I think the robot knew what it wanted." The post-bodystorming reflection suggested several factors that potentially influence bystanders' decision to offer help or not. First, participants assumed the robot was highly autonomous and expected it to operate independently. Second, the absence of responsibility as a bystander generally discouraged their willingness to help. One participant even suggested that helping such commercially deployed robot made them feel like free labor. Third, the unfamiliarity with robot technology also stopped some participants from offering help due to the worries about potential risks. Participants also suggested a need for extra incentives to help robots. This includes intrinsic motivations such as empathy and emotional responses, or extrinsic motivation that they could get from the helping experience, such as entertaining value and material rewards. From the Kansai word sorting, we summarized the desired characteristic of robots when asked bystander for help. For the physical aspect, as indicated by the orange note, we can see that participants generally prefer robots to be mechanical over organic. At the same time, they also expect adding elements such as cuteness or liveliness to the overall mechanical nature of the robot. For psychological aspect, participants generally expect the robot to display positive characteristics, such as being confident and happy, instead of showing negative emotions such as sadness. One participant suggested that a casually encountered robot exhibiting sadness when seeking assistance could make them feel like an emotional blackmail. For the social aspect, participants generally expect the robot to show characteristics of being polite and extrovert. It's interesting that needy is not among the chosen description for desired qualities. One participant expressed this perspective by describing a service robot as some kind of professional staff, implying the need for the robot to exhibit characteristics that align with the expected proficiency instead of being needy. Drawing from the findings, we identify 3 design considerations for fostering casual human-agent collaboration. First, the design of agent help seeking should leverage the inherent expressiveness in the functional aspects or form of the agent. These implicit communication channels can prevent from being viewed as disruptive. Second, to respond to real-world expectations and social norms, the design of agent help seeking should adhere to and match with their perceived social categories, for example, occupation. Third, to compensate for the misaligned task objectives in casual human-agent collaboration, the design of agent help seeking should incorporate appropriate incentives, transforming assistive behavior into experiences that benefit both parties. Thank you for the attention and interest. For more information, please check our paper.